Hello. As somebody that likes to cook, because I was an ex-chef, I always often think about cooking lots of different things. But one thing I never thought about cooking was babies, human babies. But now there will be. This is referring to this mad video, but in a day where we just keep getting mad stories coming up, followed by another mad one, you just sort of go, oh yeah, I'm not, it's not that shocking, but stop and think about it. So I've saw, who have I seen talk about this? Gary Awesome, who's awesome, and Tim Paul, who's great too, and they both had different takes on it. What happened was AOC, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, I believe it's how we say it, held a meeting, and they were talking about, well, all sorts of stuff, but at this moment it was about climate catastrophe, climate armagedon that is approaching within minutes unless we give everything we have to the government now. Everything you have now, empty your bank accounts, just give it to the government, because if you don't, within the end of the day, life as we know it will be irreversibly changed. So anyway, climate change is an industry. I stand by that. Yes, climate's changing. I'm not going to get into that debate on this one. This woman stood up and she claims that we're not doing enough. So she mentioned the Armageddon that is approaching. We've only got, I don't know how long she said, very little time. And she said that the Swedish professor or a Swedish scientist has suggested eating people as a way to combat climate change, to which not everyone thinks that guy is a lunatic, including this person apparently, who she said, but it's not enough. It's not enough action. We need to eat babies. She had a t-shirt on, printed. So, and she's suggesting to save the planet, we must start eating babies. Now, Gary Awesome was of the belief that she was for real, because he doesn't think that somebody that was sort of having a prank or a wind-up would be able to carry off that level of acting. I don't know. I'm more likely to go along what Tim Paul's thoughts were, that he thinks this is some sort of prank, or just perhaps someone that just wants to try to show them up, the leftists, for being so mental. And job done. The thing that got me most from this, whether or not this is so possible that this person's mentally ill, Alexandra AOC, it's called AOC, has said she's mentally ill after the event, didn't stop her mid outburst. As possible, could be a prank, and it could just be real, or it could be someone that has listened to what everyone's saying, listened to Greta Thunberg, whatever her name is, how dare you, and is just completely mental now. Wasn't necessarily mental before, but now has been convinced that we're all about to die. But what I want to talk about mostly is the lack of outrage from the audience and from AOC, whilst this person, let's say again, was talking about eating babies, unironically. So AOC, that's weird. You should, maybe she was a bit like a deer in the headlights and she just didn't know what to do. And perhaps, maybe somewhere in the back of her mind she's thinking, oh, what are we doing? What have we done? We've now convinced people that we should eat babies. Or maybe she was thinking, perhaps there's time to put a little footnote in the Green New Deal. But no one in the audience was going, angry, going, what are you talking about? Shut up. You're going too far. They were just doing nothing. So this woman was allowed to complete her speech. She was allowed to finish the madness that she was uttering, it was taken seriously. So I think the possibilities explanation for that would be, might be some people in the audience going, right on, yep, eating babies, it's obvious. Why didn't I think of that? Could be that they're, I think, more likely just sort of not really hearing what's being said. There's a cognitive dissonance where you have a an ideology. You're indoctrinated into a belief system, whether it's religious or whatever. It acts the same, and you have logic equals X. Ideology says X must be wrong because ideology says the answer is Y. So you have to use cognitive dissonance to ignore the logic and say, no, it's Y. So someone like that might be going, no, maybe, that. But I think more likely than that is inside they're going, what the fuck? But they know that if you step out of line in that crowd and you stand up and say, no, this is too far, they come for you. You're next. The left will eat you. And people have got to snap out of it and come out of it. I just think it's madness. And I just had another thought a while ago, just before I decided to do this talk about it, was that there's also a group of people. So the parents that are so virtuous and want to signal their virtue to the world that they will go, oh, my child is transgender. My little boy once picked up a dolly, and now we're giving him hormones, block his puberty, and as soon as he's old enough, we're going to mutilate him, his genitals, and force him to be a girl and probably help him commit suicide further down the line. That sort of parent, there's some of them that might be going, wow, imagine how awesome everyone's going to think I am if I offer my child up for lunch. It's just mad. And I know it's horrific subject, but I suppose you have to make fun of it. There will be a couple out there that will be going, how would we prepare my child? Would want it to go a long way. Perhaps we'd have to make a broth, something like that. It's just mad. Anyway, I'm going to stop before I say something that will get me banned. But yeah, your thoughts, people. I look forward to it. See you soon. Bye.